All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about The Order, the newest film and the most boring title ever. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of The Order, the newest film from director Justin Kurzel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wanted to watch The Order? No, not that order. No, not that order. The 2024 version of The Order, which actually is the semi-biographical true story of a character named Bob Matthews, who was part of a neo-Nazi group in the 80s, I believe, 1983, and he led a fraternity called The Order, which were a bunch of white supremacist individuals. Comes along an FBI agent played by Jude who teams up with a character played by Sheridan named Jamie Bowen, and they go on a quest to hunt down Bob Matthews, and they go to take down The Order in the Pacific Northwest in 1983. So it's basically a cops and robbers movie. It's a movie that is semi-biographical. It's a movie that may seem familiar when it comes to movies based on, some white supremacists in 2024. Go figure. So I guess it's fair to say that this movie could be in 2024. If you think about it, depending on your views, white supremacy is very much a thing that still happens today. But The Order, the group that Bob Matthews was in charge with, really took it to the next level, and they were going to become terrorists. And so in this story, if it weren't for the FBI, Bob Matthews may have succeeded because he was also a bank robber trying to support his family as well as, all the money that they were putting in as they were stealing from banks. So with that said, Justin Kurzel is a guy who has directed the unfortunate Assassin's Creed movie. He also did Macbeth with, of course, Michael Fassbender, which was pretty good. I could see him doing a movie like this, kind of stretching out his legs, kind of putting out his feelers. And it seemed like an interesting movie. It has a pretty good cast of Jude Nicholas Hoult, Sheridan, Jurnee, Smollett, Marc Maron's in this movie, Odessa Young. I mean, it's a pretty decent list of people. And then, like I said, you have Justin Kurzel, and then you have Zach Balan, who is an Academy Award nominee for King Richard. So it has all the makings of at least being an interesting movie. And so it releases in theaters during the holiday season. And for my honest review, I have to say I was quite bored by this movie. It's not a bad movie per se, but it's a movie that really is aping a lot of other things that you've seen before in movies when it deals with, a particular bad guy and a good guy trying to collide with one another. It feels very much like Heat in a lot of respects, where these two individuals, the bad guy and the good guy, are, one step ahead of each other, or they're on par with each other, and at some point they have to meet each other. And we have the washed out detective FBI guy, we have the the very powerful other guy, and it basically becomes like that. There is shootouts, there is bank robberies, there is an ending that if you know anything about Bob Matthews himself, you know how it's going to end. And I think for the most part, I think the cast is good. I think Jude and I think Nicholas Hoult do a nice job. Sheridan does a pretty decent job in whatever he's in, which actually he was in a movie with Nicholas Hoult called X-Men. But Jurnee Smollett isn't here. Marc Maron gets a small part, but I just didn't feel like this movie clicked with me, to be fairly honest. Once again, I was really bored by it. It's very slow. It's an hour and 56 minutes, and it just doesn't really do it much for me. It doesn't really have any emotional impact. It doesn't feel exciting. I think the bank robberies are very by the book, very Point Break, very Heat, and it just I feel like for a movie that's based on a true story, I feel like there could have been more to this movie. And once again, like something like Night Bitch, for instance, it relies on its cast to uphold the movie, which is very much falling under some real pressures of cracks and stuff like that in storytelling. And it just takes forever to get going, and when it gets going, it's just not very interesting. And because it hits close to the situational awareness that we're dealing with today and everything you see on the streets, it really feels too much sometimes. And I don't know, I just felt like there was so much potential with this movie, so much that this movie could have done, that it just doesn't deliver, to be fairly honest. And I just feel like maybe it's a problem with the storytelling of Zach Balan. Maybe it's the direction from, of course, from Kurzel. I don't know, but I think once again, I really wanted more out of this. This is one of the more disappointing movies I've seen this year that I was actually, once I heard about it and once I saw the cast, I was actually looking forward to seeing. And I think that's why it's going to be one of my most disappointed movies of the year list, because it just doesn't deliver. It really doesn't. It looks nice. You know, it has a pretty cool vibe to it. You know, the Pacific Northwest has a, you know, it's very damp and very like, the colors are way different than what you would see in Florida and stuff like that where I'm from, where I live at. But I think in the end, I think it tries too much to be like other films that you've seen while adding in a true story, and it just doesn't deliver, to be fairly honest. It's just how I feel. It's kind of like Armor, where it has fun moments, but it doesn't make up for the whole. So overall, not a huge fan of this movie. Would I recommend it if you're interested in watching it? Maybe when it comes to VOD or something like that. But overall, outside of the cast, outside of Nicholas Hoult and Jude Law and, you know, Ty Sheridan, I just really wasn't a fan of it. So that's just kind of how I look at it when it comes to The Order. So anyways, with that said, that'll do it. That'll be my take on The Order, which will be in theaters as well as VOD very shortly. But yeah, there you go. So in the comments below, what is your favorite like action film? What is your favorite cops and robbers type film? Is it like Is it like The Old Man and the Gun or something of that nature? Kind of tell me where you lie when it comes to these types of films. So with that said, thank you so much. If you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at top to fun's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.